You've probably heard about this first part, but the second will probably surprise you. Noggin. Wobbuffet, in all of their high-endurance glory, how do they manage to take so many hits and never deal any of them directly themselves? All they can do is counterattack. Wobbuffet's Pokedex entry in Gold reads, "It hates light and shock. If attacked, it inflates its body to pump up its counter-strike." In Sapphire, Wobbuffet does nothing but endure attacks. It won't attack on its own. However, it won't endure an attack on its tail. When that happens, the Pokemon will try and take the foe with it using Destiny Bond. Diamond and Pearl, it desperately tries to keep its black tail hidden. It is said to be proof the tail hides a secret. This tail has eyes! And the body only has lines representing eyes. It has high endurance unless you attack its tail, because its tail is actually it. The body is a decoy that it inflates like a punching bag, and also like a punching bag, it comes back at you harder and harder depending on how hard you hit it. So that's the secret. Wobbuffet is only his tail, but that's just what it wants you to think its secret is. Most people stop there, saying, "Yep, that's the secret, case closed!" But now let's go a step farther, into a deeper realm of theory. Note that Wynot's tail, which is actually its main body, only has one eye, while Wobbuffet's has two. Now let's look at Wynot's Pokedex entry. Wynot can always be seen with a big happy smile on its face. Look at its tail to determine if it is angry. It tends to move in a pack. Individuals squash against one another to toughen their spirits. It tends to move in a pack with others. They cluster in a type group to sleep in a cave. Wobbuffet's entries mentioned nothing about grouping together, but most of Wynot's do. Perhaps because when they grow into a Wobbuffet, they leave the pack to journey out into the wild and continue increasing their power of endurance to eventually endure all things and take over the world, or seek enlightenment, or find friends, or something. Now here's where it gets crazy. I propose the idea that Wobbuffet is actually the third evolution, and Wynot is the second. But what does Wynot come from then? Well, that's unknown. No, really, unknown. Unknown is right before Wobbuffet in the Pokedex, but that's only one extra little thing to point towards this theory. The big ones come with speculation. First, unknowns never venture out into the world. They are terrified of the place, and they are even more terrified of being alone. Unknowns are powerless by themselves, and thus are always close together in large groups. Sound familiar? Wynot is pretty weak. They reside in caves and cram themselves together to train their endurance, to train for venturing outside. And doesn't he look like he could have been an unknown that decided to grow an inflatable body? As a decoy? To protect them from this world that they're terrified of? They're too cowardly to attack, so they endure. Unknowns have reality-altering abilities. They could easily grow an inflatable decoy if they wanted. With this decoy, this shield, it could venture out into the world and be able to protect itself. And protect the other unknown. But it is not ready to do so too much. So, why not still remain in large groups, as they train, prepare? Unknowns only have one eye, just like Wynot's tail. Then it gains a second eye when it evolves into the powerful Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet holds a secret, the secret of the unknown. It protects them, just as it protects itself. Wobbuffet can learn Mirror Coat, Safeguard, and Destiny Bond, all moves that require some sort of strange power to use. Perhaps an altered form of the only move Unknown can learn, Hidden Power. Both Unknown and Wobbuffet are Psychic type, and even when Wobbuffet is just countering a physical move, it shows him glowing. He's using that psychic power that he gains from the Unknown. This is also why Wobbuffets are so competitive. If two or more Wobbuffet meet, they will turn competitive and try to outdo the other's endurance. However, they may try to see which one can endure the longest without food. They each know the secret they hold, and they each want to prove the power of endurance they have, to show which of them can defend the secret of the Unknown better. Similar to Wynot's, Unknown also hold themselves in secret, and keep their hidden power mostly to themselves. They protect their secret to protect themselves, much like Wobbuffet feels about his tail. He protects it above all else, and if you attack it, only then will Wobbuffet show you his wrath. And he will take his secret down along with him, and along with you, with Destiny Bond. No one learns the secret of his tale, the secret of the unknown, and lives. This, however, is just a theory. A Pokemon theory. A Pokemyth. Gotta learn 'em all.